What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Post-Match Panic, where two new fans are talking wrestling.
We're watching wrestling with zero nostalgia goggles.
So if you're here for the deep lore and 20 years of insider knowledge, that's not us.
We're about to give you our reactions, predictions, and probably some bad takes.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to Post-Match Panic. We are talking Friday Night SmackDown for January 23rd, 2026. Our location this week, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The night before Saturday night's main event. Good card, I thought, overall. I think it was a good lead-up to the Saturday night's main event show. We started off with Sami Zayn, the hometown boy from Canada, opening up the show. Getting the big pop as he does anytime he's in Canada. Montreal is his home, so you know they're just going to go crazy for him every time. So, and this was no different.
Yeah, it makes sense that he was going to open this one.
Yeah, like I said, Montreal is his hometown, so he's going to come out. He's going to get the crowd all riled up right off the show, and I think he succeeded in doing that. You know, he was hyping up the Fatal 4-Way for tomorrow night. Which I think he did really well, before he got interrupted by Trick Williams. And we knew this was going to happen. It's formula for the past. Like, anytime there's a big triple threat or a big match or four-way, anything like that, you're going to get everybody coming out. So Trick came out, and they had some pretty good words. You know, Trick's always good on the mic, so he brought his lemon pepper steppers out there, and and they had their back and forths, being interrupted by Damian Priest, shutting down that trash talk and trying to put Trick in his place, like the little boy that he is. And
I'm curious what the age difference actually is on these guys.
I know. We'll have to look and see kind of like how old is Damian versus Trick. It'd be funny if they're only like 2 years apart.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
you know, R-Truth is John Cena's little brother, so.
Well, yeah, he looked up to John Cena when he was, growing up.
It's a childhood hero.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, childhood hero.
Yeah. Good opening segment. Trick did get a cheap shot in on Sami. Those three started fighting. We didn't see Randy, though, throughout that intro. You know, we kind of see is he just, saving his energy for the match tomorrow, letting these guys wear themselves out?
I would say so. I mean, I think, if I'm Randy Orton, I'm like, let the young bucks go do the thing, play with some of the veterans, and just wear them out.
Yeah.
Let them wear each other out. And, hopefully, at least my prediction is that Randy Orton wins Saturday night main event. So
yeah, I think
hopefully he's just sitting back and saying, these guys are dumb.
Yeah, I mean, well, with Damian and Trick having that match later on, it just makes sense for him to just sit back and just let everyone else wear themselves out. So
his hands were off of it.
That was it. That was it. He's got to get those RKO energies down. He's got to save it up. So, all right. Well, let's start off with the first match of the night. We had Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov for the U.S. Championship Open Challenge, running it back again. These two, anytime they're in the ring, I'm all for it. Their matches are always bangers. They work really well together. They were saying that this is the 7th time they fought in the past few years. I think I watched every single one of those because it happened in NXT. They had a back and forth. It seemed like every other week they were going for that championship down there. And every single match was just so good. I would love I'd watch these two fight every week if they would do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the exactly what I was hoping for from these two, because obviously I love Ilya, like Carmelo Hayes, now that he's stepped away from The Miz.
Yeah.
And it's just been a great kind of series of matches between these guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's respect quite yet between the two of them. Maybe there is. You could probably tell me because you've watched a lot more NXT than I have. But I'm sitting back and I'm just saying, you know what? If this is the future of the program and of the company, I think we're in good hands.
Yeah, I think there is a healthy bit of respect between these two. You can kind of see it, even in the backstage where they're like, "I'll give it to you when you're ready. Like, let's go, let's run it back." Like, they're always ready to go back at each other. So it's just good to see that healthy rivalry. They don't hate each other. Even in the backstage when Miz and Melo were talking, he's like, "Oh, like how I hate you," or something like that. So. Yeah. Overall, I think the match was really good. There were really good examples of how you do a chop. Going on our conversation earlier this week about chops, that's how you chop. They went back and forth. Ilya with those devastating arms, man.
I called them the dragon chops in my notes. I
Dude.
was like, those are some dragon chops right there, dude. I mean, he was turning Carmelo Hayes's chest into some hamburger meat. You did you see blood? Was there blood?
There may have been. I mean, Ilya has drawn blood with his chops in the past, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was in this case.
I mean, I'm sitting back there like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
I
this is
I
bonkers.
think the most bonkers thing to me in this match had to have been that deadlift superplex. Did you see that? Where Mello
Hmm.
was just standing outside and from the top rope, Ilya picks him up, just straight up picks him up and superplexes him over his head off the top rope.
Yep.
Insane strength, man.
I don't think I've ever seen that before since I've watched wrestling.
No, I paused it. I was like, I was laughing. I was standing up. Like I had to rewound it 3 times, made my wife watch it. Like, holy cow, dude. It was so good.
Yes, so great. Yeah, it was a great match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Give me some more of that WWE.
Yep, that was so good. I think their only downside to that match was there was a little bit of a botched move when Ilya was trying to go coast to coast, and Mello was trying to hit that first 48 counter. It was a little sloppy, but
Yep,
overall, I think we're nitpicking at that point with that match. So, um,
100%. Yeah.
yep, Mello ended up hitting the first 48 off of the interruption by Miz to get the pin. So Mello is still the United States champion. I think this will either set up a triple threat for the U.S. championship between these three, or it will spark a feud between Ilya and Miz.
Yeah, I feel like maybe there's something more in store for Ilya. I
Hmm.
don't know exactly what that is yet because I think the way that Miz interrupted is he wants his hands on Carmelo.
Mm,
And I don't know if they want Ilya to get in the way of that. If I'm creative, I'm sitting back and saying, let's do something else with Ilya.
mm.
But I don't know. You know, I don't get paid thousands and thousands of dollars by WWE for my opinion. I just get to sit here on YouTube and give it to you, Brian.
Hey, isn't that sometimes better though?
Well, you'll listen to me.
That's true.
So
That's true.
for some reason, I don't know why.
It's fun. That's why we're doing this, Jesse.
It's exactly right. That's exactly right. I love it.
It's
This
great.
is great.
Yeah, it's fun.
No, but I think that's going to be what happens is the Miz is going to be that's going to be happening probably for the next couple weeks. I would imagine it's some kind of a beef between the Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, that's my prediction on that one.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they do anything the Friday before Rumble next week. So we'll see if that comes up. They've been pretty consistent on the U.S. Championship Open Challenge, so I'm guessing there will be a match next week, but we'll see.
Okay,
All right,
can't wait.
moving on to the next match. Yeah, we had Chelsea Green versus Jade Cargill. Uh, some would call this a squash match. That's what I'd call it anyway. Um, the backstage segment beforehand, Jordynne Grace accepting the offer to walk out with Chelsea and Alba Fire as part of the Secret Service. I don't see that going anywhere. It was just a way to get Jordynne in front of Jade, and that's just what it ended up being. So Jade and Chelsea Green in the ring.
Yeah, uh,
Yeah.
I like Chelsea Green so much.
Yeah, and I just don't want her to be the one that just gets fed to someone like Jade just to make a point. I mean, squash matches in general aren't my jam. They just aren't that entertaining. It's just like why it didn't really further any story. Okay, yeah, Jade, we know that you're huge. We know that you are more powerful than Chelsea. What does it prove for you to just go and beat up on her for a couple minutes?
It was just a way to get Jordan involved
Yeah.
in something that had somebody else that has an existing presence on the show in Chelsea Green. That she was the conduit for Jordan to get up into a ring with Jade because at this point there's been no real challengers for Jade, so they
Hmm.
can't just like bring somebody up from NXT and just be like, "You are now the number one challenger." You know, there had to be a way to develop her storyline,
Yep.
and I'm guessing this is it. But it seems to me, and I don't know, I've only watched Jade wrestle like 3 or 4 times since
Hmm.
I started watching wrestling because apparently she doesn't wrestle very often. Uh, and I would honestly say I sat back thinking to myself, I think Chelsea is a better
Yeah.
wrestler than Jade Cargill.
Hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, she's been in the business a lot longer than Jade has, And yeah, Jade has wrestled a few different times, but when she first started, she wasn't great in the ring. She was just that big, muscular, giant woman who just came in, and that was what her draw was. She had some good matches with Bianca Belair and Naomi before all of that split happened. You watched the feud with them, right? Where when Bianca found out that no, that was before you. Okay,
That was after, yeah, because I started watching at WrestleMania, man.
that's right. Because yeah, okay, that
WrestleMania
was the year
41
before.
was my first foray into full-time wrestling watching
Yep,
with
that's
you.
right. That's right.
And so at that point, I think was it Tiffany that won the belt at that match at
Tiffany,
WrestleMania?
Tiffany was the champion, and she was fighting Charlotte Flair, and she retained off of that.
She retained.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, Tiffany was a far better women's champion than Jade has been.
Well, yeah.
And I would say a lot of people, since I've been watching, would say Tiffany's was also boring. So I don't know. I guess I just haven't experienced like a really solid women's champion.
Yeah, on the SmackDown side, yeah, there was the feud with Nia Jax and Tiffany before that. And that's kind of where that landed. I can't remember who had it before Nia though. That's the only other thing. What
Yeah, that was way before my time.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They're showing some stuff on Unreal this season that's kind of giving insight to some of those earlier thought processes, and there's a whole other thing on Unreal that we can get into on another episode. But
yeah, 100%.
We'll get there. So
yeah.
So squash match with Jade and Jordynne. Jade ends up getting the win with Jaded. That's her move. It is a fancy move. I do like her finishing move. It is kind of cool. But Jordynne gets on the mic calling her out right after, saying, "Hey, now that you're warmed up, let's get a real match going." And Jade just says nope and walks out. So I could see, they're building up the story before Rumble. I could see Jordynne going and winning the Rumble and going for Jade. She could also be an Elimination Chamber contender. Who knows? Either way, we know that these two are going to collide at some point. I just don't know when. It could be a match at Elimination Chamber for the title. I don't think they're going to do it as early as Rumble, but we'll see what happens, in the next.
Yeah, that feels like it would be pretty fast track for them to do it at Rumble, but
they got to do something. But
they need to do something.
Yeah. Speaking of doing something and pushing stories forward, let's talk about our next match. The MFTs versus the Wyatt Sicks for the Tag Team Championships. Solo and Tama Tonga versus Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis. Your two favorite factions, Jesse.
They are my two favorite factions to not like.
Yeah. But the Lantern.
But the Lantern.
The Lantern.
The Lantern, I think last week I said the Lantern, who knew the Lantern was the most interesting story plot of that entire line of stories. And this week I'm already over it. Yeah. So, I don't know. I was hoping for a little bit more, and here we are. They're holding it like the freaking Tesseract in Marvel movies or something. It's very strange to me.
Yeah, it's
an Infinity Stone, Brian.
I mean,
what is that?
It definitely is. I mean, the Lantern. You weren't around. I mean, I wasn't around either, but I've gone back and watched a little bit of it. But the Lantern, they've said, is the symbol for Bray Wyatt, who's Uncle Howdy's real life brother. And that is kind of and Solo has made mention of him in his promos, saying that he's got the whole world in his hands. And whenever he says, and he would say that too, or whatever, like he's pointing up, he's talking about Bray at that point. So they're definitely leaning into that more, which is kind of what they've always done with the Wyatts since they've come back, is they've leaned into the fact that it was still Bray's characters and it's still Bray's storyline, not really digging into the Uncle Howdy bit. Because I don't know if you know, but like every one of the characters, not necessarily Uncle Howdy or I can't remember her name, the Sister Abigail character. It's not Sister Abigail, but Nikki the Witch, I think is what they call her. But the other men in the faction, Nikki Cross, that's it. But Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Eric Rowan, all of their characters represent a character that Bray came up with and that represented a part of him way back in the day. So that's kind of where all those come from. There's a lot of really cool history from back then. I just don't know how they're going to translate it to the now. So.
Well, it seems like a long story line play, but for somebody new like me who did not watch, Bray Wyatt wrestle, or I've spent some time. Like, I know you sent me a video on Bray Wyatt and I watched it and I enjoyed it, but I'm still sitting back here like, I mean, what are we doing with these guys?
Right.
Because he was clearly the mastermind behind a lot of that. And then we're sitting back here trying to figure, if I have to ask this many questions about why they exist the way they exist, and I'm in like months of watching, it ain't working. And it seems like, and you can tell me what you think, Brian, it seems like the internet's not very into it anymore either.
I mean, I would agree with that statement. I think it's a good analogy. You know, you're talking about the Tesseract. It's kind of like coming halfway through the Infinity saga and just starting from there. Like not watching Iron Man and not watching Captain America, but you're coming in at Age of Ultron trying to figure out what's going on with everything. So
it's true.
It was that was
and I guess for a new wrestling fan like me, I'm just like, I can't go back and watch.
Right.
I mean, I could, I guess, but like,
where do you start?
That doesn't seem like the way of watching wrestling. I'm supposed to be able to jump in and then like start building up my knowledge. And I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it all the wrong way. Anyway, I can sit here on this soapbox and talk about why I don't like the MFTs and why I don't like the Wyatt Sicks, but we ain't got all night.
No, we don't. But I think to get in their heads more, Solo should have come out to the Wyatt's music first. With the lantern, so everyone thinks it's the Wyatt's coming out, but it's the MFTs and Solo coming out. I think that would have been a little bit of an impact and a little bit of mind screwage.
Yes. Absolutely, that would have been significantly more interesting to me.
Yeah,
than anything else that happened that entire segment.
Yeah, the match itself was good. Joe Gacy is a scrapper. He's always been fun to watch. It's just, you know, I don't think I've ever heard him on the mic since he's been part of this faction or anything. But as a wrestler, I like him. He's got some really fun moves.
Yeah, and I think Dexter Lumis is good too. Yeah. I mean, I saw some moves and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Their double team power palm is good.
Maybe these guys can just, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, Brian. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of good talent on the roster. And I think sometimes that creative is just a little overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we said, hopefully going to a 3-hour show helps with that a little bit. So we'll see how they draw this out. But at the beginning of the match, Tonga was sent back into the backstage with the lantern to secure it. And later on in the match, he does end up coming back out with it to use it as a weapon. Well, Solo ends up using it as a weapon against Dexter Lumis, who then falls back into the ring, and Tama Tonga capitalizes that and gets the pin to become the new tag team champions of Friday Night SmackDown. So they walk out of the ring with the titles and the lantern. It's still there.
Yeah, this thing ain't done yet.
No, it's not. And I read a good theory on Reddit, I think somewhere, that the spirit of Bray through the lantern, since Solo has been saying his name, not in the Joe Hendry way, but saying his name and convoking the spirit of Bray, that the spirit is going to take over and corrupt Solo, and we'll see him going down some kind of darker road. So, who knows? It could be fun if that's the way they go. We're missing that supernatural horror element of WWE right now.
We are, and I think they tried to do it with Bayley, and then they seemingly gave up on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she was going crazy, and then she's now not.
I don't know.
Or was that one slap by Lyra Valkyria the one thing that slapped her out of months of being kind of nuts?
Yeah, that just permanently made her nuts. So I don't know. We'll see.
No, it made her better because now she's not nuts anymore.
Yeah, she's hugging everyone again.
So that's why I'm like, it doesn't seem like they don't understand how to deal with the darker, supernatural or crazy side of things very well.
We'll have to see that. All I know is at some point Eric Rowan and Tonga need to get in the ring and have it out. Two giants get in there and battle it out. I want to see it. I want to see it.
That's going to be super interesting. I'm into that.
Yep.
Mostly because Eric Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan.
Yeah. See, I don't even know their names. Eric Rowan just looks like my grandpa from 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And so I'm like, it's just feels like watching grandpa fight in the ring, and it's awesome.
It's funny because I know what your grandpa looks like now. So
exactly. Yeah. Can you imagine Grandpa Cal sitting back there, taking some suplexes and some power bombs?
That'd be funny, dude.
And dishing them out?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Let's see it. Moving on to our next match of the night: Nathan Frazier versus Johnny Gargano. This feud started during the United States Championship Open Challenge, mostly around Tommaso Ciampa, who seems to be gone now. I don't know what the story is. I haven't heard anything official that he's gone, but I haven't seen him in a while. Do you know anything?
Yeah, so his contract's up, and
Okay.
they've I think just decided to let it lapse.
Okay.
He's not coming back.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's officially over, but I think at this point they just decided since his contract is not going to be re-upped, he
Yeah.
is not going to be in any kind of a storyline or matches, which makes sense. So yeah, he's gone. He is no longer a part of the WWE roster.
Okay. That's what I assumed. And that's unfortunate, I think, more for Johnny Gargano, because I think Gargano, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him outside of this little feud be in a singles match.
Okay.
And from what I've seen in this, he is way better in a tag team than in a singles match. I think that's where he thrives. I think that's kind of where he's always been. That's where I've always seen him. I don't know. I could be wrong. Most likely am wrong, but that's just how I've seen him. But
This may have been like the third match I've ever seen
yeah,
Johnny Gargano.
yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah,
I think I don't really have an opinion outside of what I watched in this match.
yeah. That's the thing. I think if they're gonna do anything with him, I feel like they're pushing a lot of husband and wife teams right now. You know, they were pushing Seth and Becky before Seth got hurt. You have Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. You have Johnny Gargano and uh, Candice LeRae, his wife. And I think, could they be bringing some sort of mixed tag division to WWE? I don't know. They've got 3 couples in there at least that we know about.
Yep.
Well, and eventually you could have Bianca Belair.
Come and live.
Well, they're not really. We're not really husband and wife, but you could. I mean,
What are you talking
I
about?
don't know, man. Don't worry about it. Uh, it could be Roxanne and Dominic. We don't know. Shh. But yeah, who knows? We could see some mixed tag divisions going on. We're seeing it in AAA. They're pushing Chelsea and Ethan Page as the AAA mixed tag team champions right now. So, we could see that could just be a feeler to see if it works in WWE. So,
Yep.
but I like Fraxiom. I like Nathan Frazier. I love Axiom. I like they're just a good high flying duo. I don't know where the story's going to end up because it seemed like they were fighting over a mask before Tommaso left, and I mean the mask was still in play in this match. We saw it ended up costing Johnny Gargano the match, but I just don't know what the end game is. It could be it'd be fun to see like a ladder match or something for the mask, but that's just I don't know what it gains Johnny Gargano other than just like I got your mask.
Well, and I think, I mean, maybe more than I do at this point, but a part of me is like, I'm okay with just seeing a rivalry that's not championship
Yeah,
driven,
yeah,
and I think if this takes a little bit of time, that's okay. Because I like Fraxiom, I like Adam Frazier, I like Axiom. And what I saw from Johnny, it wasn't bad.
yeah,
I don't know anything about Candice LeRae.
yeah.
Outside of I think she was in that ladder match. Was it at Evolution? Evolution?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, if that's where it was, I don't remember. And I think I watched her and she was just okay, but nothing special. And so I'm interested. Give
Yeah.
it some room to breathe. I think and I hope creative does because I'm okay with something being interesting that it's not driven by a belt.
Yeah, not every rivalry needs to be for a championship. And we've
Yeah.
seen that. We saw the Damian Priest, Aleister Black. That was just over whatever. I think we're seeing that on other shows with Kit Wilson and Matt Cardona. We're probably going to see that happen a little bit more.
Hmm.
So, there are rivalries that happen that are not championship bound. So,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
good. So,
Yep.
overall, again, it was a fun match. Again, we haven't seen enough of Gargano to fully have a fully formed opinion about him. But
Yep.
it is what it is. They seem to be really keen on the item stealing in SmackDown in their stories. We had the lantern and now we have the mask. I don't know what's next. Are they gonna? I mean, we had the tribal thief. We had the stealing of the shoes. That was on Raw, but still. The item stealing seems to be a common theme this calendar year.
They'll find stuff, Brian.
Yeah, let's
Don't
just
you
do it.
worry.
Yeah,
They're gonna start stealing each other's car keys
Oh,
too.
dude. Yep.
I
CM
got
Punk's
your rental car
necklace.
keys, bro.
Yep. All
Oh
right,
man.
moving on to our next match for the night. Our penultimate match for the night was the triple threat for the number one contenders that will go up against the winner of Rhea and Io and Liv and Roxanne at Saturday night's main event tomorrow. We have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Julia and Kiana James and Nia Jax and Lash Legend. So 3 teams are in the ring. I'm not I think I'm the most. Well, I don't know. I'm not a really huge fan of any of these teams.
Yep.
I'm glad to see Julia's doing something though. They're not just burying Julia. They seem to be pushing Kiana in this match. I don't know why Julia needs a business advisor. I just think
it's not a business advisor, it's a translator.
I mean, they call her business advisor, and that's kind of what they've been
I
pushing her
know.
as. I know, but I don't know what that's for. I just feel like they needed to put her somewhere, and we're like, all right, well, let's just give her to Julia, I guess.
And I'm going to say this for the second week in a row, Brian.
Uh-huh.
Kiana James is more interesting to me than Julia is.
And I think this match proved that. I think they really pushed her, like I was saying. You know, she was featured a lot in this match.
Yep.
They were talking, the announcers were saying how underestimated she was, and that they're liking what they're seeing. So, and I agree. You know, she is showing up a lot more. You know, giving her something to do is better than just having her on the sideline while Julia does what Julia does. So, not defending the championship.
And what is Julia doing? She's the champ. Why is she in a tag team match?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like after Rumble, you know, as we're getting closer to Mania, we'll see. Because Mania, we always see most of the titles be defended in some way, shape, or form. So hopefully we'll get some sort of Julia storyline coming up soon. So
yeah.
You know, triple threat means no DQs. So Charlotte and Alexa taking advantage of that right off the bat, where the other two had people outside of the ring. Both of them tried to take everybody out. Lash laying out Charlotte with a huge elbow. Did you see that? That was huge.
I feel bad for Alexa Bliss.
For Alexa?
Wasn't that Alexa?
No, Charlotte's the one who got hit by Lash. That's how you hit somebody, Charlotte.
Charlotte wouldn't know.
Woo.
Or at least in the last 10 years, she wouldn't know.
No, I know. Yeah, that's right. One thing I will say, you know, I talk about Charlotte's chops. You know, that is what it is. The one thing that irritates me more than anything, not necessarily. Well, I mean, Charlotte's one of the most guilty persons of it that I've seen, but it happens to other people as well. When you can hear them calling out instructions. Like, I know you're in the ring. I know you're doing stuff. I know a lot of stuff's on the fly. But when you can blatantly, like, you're right in front of the camera, hearing them, you know, say 1, 2, 3, or hey, move over here, or hey, I'm going to do this, that always pulls me out of it. And I never like that.
100%.
Did
you hear some of that in this match? Because I didn't hear that. When was that?
Yeah, I heard Charlotte. I can't exactly remember where it was, but I do remember hearing it after her feather chop segment. So. One of the things we were talking about Kiana that really impressed me in this match was that double powerbomb on Nia with Charlotte on top of Nia. Like the strength that takes. I mean, because, you know, Nia's a big girl.
Telling you.
It doesn't it takes a lot to do that, but you know, that was very impressive. So that was very good.
I think it was either going to be Kiana James or Charlotte that could pull that off, and she did really well.
I thought it was going to end up being a whatever Nia's finishing move is. The Annihilator. I thought that's what it ended up. I thought that's what it was going to turn into. But no, Kiana pulled it off. It was great. It was very, very impressive.
So good.
So
again, another instance where Julia is not as interesting as Kiana.
Yep, agreed. I don't think Julia did much outside of an arrivederci here and there. So, you know, you did say poor Alexa earlier.
Yes,
she did get kicked in the face by Nia Jax during that Sister Abigail DDT. That definitely.
Maybe I missed that part.
It was that one. That one was towards the end. That was right. She had Lash in the Sister Abigail, and Nia kicked her in the face. And but Kiana James then taking advantage of Charlotte's spear on Lash, and pinning Alexa to become the number 1 contenders. So we have
Yep.
Nia and Lash going up against the
Yep.
winner of Rio and Liv and Roxy tomorrow night. So
Can be interesting.
Yeah, not what I thought was going to happen. I don't think they're going to be pushing Nia and Lash against whoever wins tomorrow night, but
Yeah.
it'll be entertaining regardless. But
Mhm.
I think whoever wins tomorrow is going to retain.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Our main event for the night, Damian Priest versus Trick Williams, the prelude to the Fatal 4-Way. Very risky going into this because, it could cause one of them to lose tomorrow.
Yeah, and this was an interesting booking choice to me in a lot of ways. And I was kind of excited about it, but I was kind of a little hesitant because I was like, please don't get hurt. I'm actually interested in seeing the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah. We did see, before this match started, Sami Zayn was in the back talking to Damian saying, hey, I got my own beef with Trick. And Damian basically told him to, hey, shut up. Don't come out there. Mind your own business. Let me deal with my business. And we'll talk about it in a little bit. But, after that conversation, Sami did walk over and give Drew McIntyre quite the slap. But we'll talk more about that after these matches. So
yes, we will.
This match in particular, Sami Zayn does end up coming out later on throughout the match, causing a distraction for Trick Williams. It was a good match the first half. Damian really took advantage of a lot of the early flourishes. Trick had his fancy moves, his leaping neck breaker to change the momentum in his direction was really good. And that seems to be what Trick is good at is changing the momentum in his favor. So that's always fun to see. So, but
yeah, he's tricky.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Pun intended.
Sami Zayn walking out to distract Trick, which does work. Damian takes advantage of that distraction. The fight spilling out near Sami. Sami putting his hands up, trying not to get in the middle of things, like he said he was going to do. But Trick throwing Damian into the stairs and then getting into Sami's face right before they cut to a commercial during a match, which always sucks. Yeah. Lots of good back and forth striking. Priest getting caught by Trick and thrown into the announce table, picked up and then thrown into Sami. And that just kind of what breaks down the fight. Sami had enough of that. Jumps Trick in the ring to end the match in a disqualification. So, yeah, that's the match could have ended. I think that was a good way to end it. There's a Fatal 4-Way tomorrow. You don't need to give anybody momentum going in. Just let the DQ happen. During the whole match, I was like, where's Randy? Where's Randy? Where's Randy? We were saying
Randy
earlier,
was having no part of that, man.
No, man, not until he decided to come out from underneath the ring and RKO Trick's ass. Don't turn your back on the Viper. Which, that's my prediction on how it's going to end tomorrow, so hopefully that does happen, and we see that again.
Excuse me.
So,
yeah, I do too. I mean, it needs to be Randy.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Let it happen.
Yeah, give him 15. I want him to have the shot at 15. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why Cena won 17, so he could shake the hand of the guy who won 18.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was our card for the night. We'll see. It was a good setup for tomorrow. We'll see how it plays out at Saturday night main event. But some of the other backstage segments or other just segments in general. We talked about Melo and talking to The Miz and Ilya backstage. Did you catch the Home Alone reference from The Miz?
Yeah, what did he say?
He said, "You're what the French call les incompetents."
Les incompetents.
Oh, I love a good Home Alone reference. It's great.
Oh, he's such a 90s kid.
Dude, it's so good. We had Cody versus Fatu. So there was a sit-down interview with Michael Cole and Cody Rhodes that ended up breaking down pretty quickly. As Cody was about to give his answer, Fatu breaks in. They have their face-to-face, Nick Aldis and security. Right behind them, Cody calls out his impulsiveness is the reason he got locked up. Ooh, and Fatu did not like that.
No, he did not.
He's Sacktown boy getting locked up. Grant High School.
Hey, who? It's a thing that happens here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially, yeah, for sure. But Fatu does say he is focused and locked in on hurting Cody. So that'll be a very fun match, I think, tomorrow. I think they're talking about that opening the show, but they could be main event too. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, it'll be good.
Yeah, I think the Fatal 4-Way would be main event,
Oh,
but
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. We had Chelsea Green and Jordynne Grace. We said starting before their match, trying to recruit her to the Secret Service. It was just a way to get Jordynne in front of Jade. Did you see that during a commercial? I didn't like the way they did this, but during the commercial, Roman Reigns is officially declared for the Royal Rumble.
No.
They threw up a title card as they were coming back from a commercial that Roman Reigns is officially declared. He's coming back. I mean, they didn't want to fly him to Canada. I mean, just do a title card after commercial. Whatever.
Oh, dude, he's hanging out in Hawaii, enjoying his life or wherever he lives, and he's like, I just come in here for the big shows.
That's true. That's what he does now. So, and then we had R-Truth with Nick Aldis. Truth putting his balls on the line, literally. He says he can sleep well at night because his balls are in good hands.
What's in those balls? What's in those?
Well, I mean, we don't. I think it's his name because I think it's a reference to the Last Time Is Now tournament where the names were drawn out of balls, out of like a bingo style roller, and R-Truth kept trying to put his name in there, and that's what happened. So he wanted to put his balls in Nick Aldis's hands every week. So, I like that they're still, running with the gags. Anytime you get R-Truth in there is great. R-Truth is awesome. I don't care who you are, what you say. He's just a joy. Tell me about your opinion on R-Truth's balls.
So I hope they do something great.
They should.
With R-Truth's plastic balls.
Yeah.
Do you think, and we have not talked about Netflix's Unreal Season 2 very often.
Yeah.
Do you think that the way that it was portrayed, R-Truth was portrayed, and the fact that they've only really had him do stuff 2 or 3 times since he had that whole thing go down last year where he was released and then came back. Do you think now that the show's out, they're like, oh, we got to give this guy some screen time.
Yeah.
We got to get this guy involved. Do
you
think there's some pressure there?
I don't know if there's pressure because he did have a good chunk of screen time during the John Cena retirement tour. And then, like a lot of the focus was on that. And, he's come back a few different times just to do little spots like he does, with the putting his balls in the ring, little things like that. I don't know if they're feeling pressure, but I feel like they realized that how much of an asset he is to the fans. I mean, I think, we saw in that episode, I just watched that episode today about R-Truth and that whole situation. It's really cool to see how he reacted to, the fans' love and appreciation. He said it put the S on his chest. So, I feel like that meant more to him than anything else. So he just loves,
so good.
he loves being the character. He loves being the guy. And I think that's a great spot for him. And they need to run with it. I think, before you started watching, they did a whole segment with him being like forcing his way into Judgment Day, which was hilarious. Probably my favorite segment I ever watched, and I look forward to it every week. But do more with R-Truth like that. So
give me some more R-Truth, baby. Yep. Let's see it.
Let's go. Another moving down the segment list, AJ Styles with Nick Aldis talking about putting his career on the line against Gunther. Before doing that, Shinsuke Nakamura talks to him. Apparently, they had a huge rivalry back in the day. I don't know anything about it, but Shinsuke wanted to make sure that before he puts his title on the line, that he gets one more shot at him, just as to see if he's still as phenomenal as he was back then. So all this makes it official for a match for Saturday night's main event. And Cody, we see him later on telling him good luck in that match.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about Shinsuke Nakamura, but I'm looking forward to this match that's going to take place on Saturday night main event. And mostly because I really like watching AJ wrestle.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be good. Well, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I do too. Shinsuke is always a fun one to watch. I think with AJ coming off of that controversial loss to Gunther, I think he's got something to prove here. And getting that momentum before Rumble will be good if he does end up taking the match against Shinsuke tomorrow. So we'll see. And either way, it's going to be great. So we had Drew McIntyre coming out. Drew McIntyre live, set to defend against the winner of the Fatal 4-Way at Saturday night's main event tomorrow at the Royal Rumble in Saudi next week. So Drew really knows how to work a crowd. I think he is. I think you said it last week. He's the best heel in the company right now. he has really leaned into it. I think he knows how to turn the crowd. He knows how to work them. He knows he's really good on the mic, and just knows how to get in people's heads. And it's great.
I think Drew calling Cody's Cody called it, I think, their therapy session.
Yeah,
Cody Jacobs' therapy session. It's I love those little digs from the heels.
Yeah.
It's relevant. It's not generic. It's not, I'm the best that I can kick your ass. It's like, no, I'm literally going to sit here and use my words to offend you in as many ways as possible. And I want you to feel the wrath and hatred from me in this moment. And I think Drew does that better than any other heel since I've watched wrestling.
Agreed. And
starting last year.
I think, the person who got the worst of it tonight was good old Sami Zayn, the hometown boy, talking about his kid. And I think that's what prompted, we know that is what prompted the slap later on. And it wasn't just a little Charlotte chop that got him. It was a big big old, what'd you call him? A dragon trunk or dragon chop?
A dragon chop from Ilya.
Yeah. That was one of those to Drew's face. So that was good.
Yeah. So satisfying.
Yeah. So,
although I don't really like Sami Zayn, but yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think he's going to win tomorrow, but I don't know. We'll see. Ugh.
Dude, there's no way Sami Zayn's winning. That's not gonna happen.
I know. When you're up against people like Drew or Randy, I don't know, man. It's
you're telling me he's gonna beat Randy Orton, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest? Please.
I don't know. Trick, I get. Trick's not gonna win. We know that. Damian, they've been pushing him. I don't know, but Randy. Randy's he's the hot ticket item right now. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's Randy.
All right, finishing up, we had Kit Wilson backstage talking about getting rid of all the toxicity. I like this character arc with Kit. I think it's fun to have this type of character in the lineup. Matt Cardona interrupting the interview and them having it out, clearly setting up a match for next week. So that'll be a good.
I'm guessing they'll be in the Rumble too. Would be my guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's a good pre-Rumble SmackDown match too. I think it's just one of those ones that like we're saying, doesn't have any huge impact. It'll just be a way to further a feud and further a storyline. So it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. So yep.
All right, so that's going to be the show. We always like to end our episodes by talking about our botch and pop of the week, our worst and our best of the week. So I'll start off. My botch of the week is going to be that squash match between Jade and Chelsea. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of squash matches in general, and the only purpose that seemed to serve was putting Jordynne on the mic against Jade. That just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And then finding out that Roman's return is happening during a commercial break, I felt like that was less than impactful, and you didn't even see it. So that just proves and Roman's he used to be one of your favorites.
I like Roman.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I just thought they put him on there because he's just Roman Reigns and he gets put on all the promotional material.
Yeah, I don't know. No. Yeah. What about you?
I would say my botch of the week was, as always, anything that has to do with the MFTs and the Wyatt Sicks.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the MFTs for winning the tag team championship, but also I don't care.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
And then my pop of the week. Did we go to pop of the week?
Go ahead. Do it.
Nope,
do it.
I think my pop of the week would have to be, and I think this is in your notes too. Yeah, Ilya's deadlift, because it's in my notes. That whole match could be my pop because it's so good, and they're making the United States Championship relevant, in my opinion, in a way that hasn't probably been since I've at least started watching. It seems like the stakes are way more interesting, and when you have a fight like Ilya and Carmelo, and then Ilya doing a move like that, you're just sitting back there and you're just like, what is happening? I am here for it. Subscribe.
Yep. I love it. Yes, that was my pop of the week as well. That deadlift superplex was just so impressive. I watched it 3 or 4 times. It was great. I loved it. Yeah, like you said. You said it perfectly. Just give me more of these two. I'll watch them every week. Let's go.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
All right. So that's going to be our show for the week. I think I'm very excited to see what tomorrow holds. We'll see how those storylines progress and leading up into the Royal Rumble next weekend. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. That's going to be it for today's episode. If you disagreed with anything we said, you're probably right. Drop it in the comments, and we will see you guys later.
Hasta la vista.